was something I was going to do. It involved pushing buttons. Welcome to the Northern Knits podcast. We are two sisters in fiber coming to you from two separate locations. As Jocelyn is currently visiting her mom and dad in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, and Diana still hasn't left for her honeymoon yet, so she's still in boring old Winnipeg. No.
Boring old Winnipeg. And we're
Uh,
having like second winter, or it's trying to still have winter or something right now. It's trying to be cold again. It's not actually
so,
cold, but it's trying to be.
yeah. So like most spring seasons,
I know. We've got
where
fake spring, and then we have
everybody gets
fake
too
spring
excited.
2. So after this, we might actually have real spring.
For any of you guys who don't live in Canada or live in Winnipeg, the general rule of thumb is if you garden, just put live plants outside, you don't do it till after May long weekend, which is the tail end of May, because the ground could still freeze.
Yep.
This is such a constant standard that it's considered the rule of thumb. It's just what you do.
Yep.
So I laugh at everybody at the start of April when they're stoked. I'm like, guys, we still got like another month. Chill.
Got another month of this cycling through false spring. We get so hopeful because the
I
odd
don't.
year, we actually do have a really early spring and it's beautiful, and we're
It's
so
very
that
rare.
it's very rare,
It's
and so
so
we
rare.
get so hopeful. But anyway, we're a knitting podcast where we don't always complain. Well, we always complain about the weather. I
Yeah,
frequently complain about the weather.
we've just reached about the end of your complaining and the start of mine.
One of us will always be complaining about the weather.
That's what happens for being seasonal opposites. It's a thing. Diana, do you want to tell everybody what we're going to try to cover this week?
Yeah, we're covering what's in our cup, cool threads, woolly workings, fiber flubs, yarn on the go, wool gathering, literature, and events.
Ta-da!
What are you drinking today?
I'm drinking some super organic peppermint tea. It's from the Traditionals Medicinals. I really needed a good peppermint tea, and I could smell the peppermint through the box. And I'm enjoying it in my mom's mug, which I can't read.
Warm tea, good books, soft pillows, and daydreams.
Ugh. It's the one with the lid so the cat won't get in it.
Good choice.
Thanks. If you don't know, my mom has an 18-year-old cat, which is considered a geriatric cat. In human years, he's like 106 or something.
Good age.
He's earned the right to be crotchety, but his favorite thing to do on the face of the planet is play in everybody else's cups of whatever happens to be a thing. So they all have to have lids, like we live in a small house with a small child, because he'd still jump everywhere and do all the things. He's just really old, so he thinks about it really hard before he does it. We'll come across him and he'll be standing there staring at you and I'll be like, you come up. He'll decide like within 20 minutes what he's doing. He's not the speediest thinker, but he can still do it. But yeah, no. You have to lid your beverages in this house to be safe. And absolutely under no circumstances do you leave anything milk orientated unobtained or unwatched for any amount of time because he will be in it.
Mm.
It's not even, you just don't do it. Mom gave
Fair.
herself a brain freeze eating her ice cream because the cat was watching her. Just waiting for her to stop paying attention.
Well, I decided that it was a scotch sort of a night, so I've got some Highland Park Magnum single malt that I'm drinking.
Well, yeah, but you've got scotch and whiskey in your house because you are a scotch and whiskey drinker.
In fact, I am. I'm
Hmm.
enjoying it quite thoroughly. This was some birthday scotch.
Oh, nice. Well, you can rest assured that I will never buy you booze.
That is totally fine.
It's
If
not my
everybody
thing.
bought me booze, I wouldn't be able to drink it fast enough.
It's true. Very true. Having said that, if you get the chance to pick up a really nice limited edition bottle of whiskey or scotch for yourself while you're on your honeymoon, do that.
Oh, heck yeah.
Do that.
But we're not going to be in
That is an
Scotland,
amazing idea.
so
You and I should go.
one day. We'll get there one day.
Edinburgh. Yarn Festival, end of February. Kick off our birthday month off right.
True, although I've been in Scotland in January and it kind of sucked weather wise, and I'm very skeptical of February being any better.
As compared to us.
They have very wet windy winters. We have like very cold and very snowy, but they
Yeah.
have that cold humidity that just is miserable.
Yeah, I still want to go.
Like it's not even raining, the wind's just blowing so hard that the moisture in the air is condensing on you. But the
Yes.
wind's blowing like sideways and it's
Yes.
not fun. I'm really skeptical of February being much better.
We'll super park you up. It's fine. Jocelyn, why do you have four legs? Diana's hiding in my coat. Just go with it.
You wanted to be a centaur, right?
Yes, I did. Thank you very much. It's always been a dream of mine.
Perfect. We'll get
And I
the
clearly, with no vision, have to be the head of the centaur.
obviously.
Nothing bespokes the confidence to which train young heroes like a blind centaur.
It means you're wise, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll go with that. Wise Kraken. Ah!
Oh.
And it was a non-caffeine day today for me.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Okay. Cool threads. What have you been wearing this week?
My wardrobe is limited because I'm out visiting my mom. I only brought two shawls with me, so I am still just wearing my Stormy Sky shawl and my exploration station. Will that increase while the holidays continue? Maybe. Oh, it will, but not at the moment. And of course, my handmade socks, but handmade socks are just par for the course now.
Yep. I have been wearing my exploration station, which is on the chair behind me here, and my Katie hat, which is apparently the only hat I ever wear now, and it's to the point where it's like stretched out, and so I have to wash it again just so I can stretch it back into shape because I've been wearing it pretty much every day.
That sounds about right.
Really liking that hat. I should make
The
more hats.
newest favorite is best favorite. You are a hat person. I don't know why you don't make more hats.
I don't know. I think I'm just crazy. I just don't make more hats.
I don't disagree with the crazy statement, but
I just keep making shawls, and I should really just be making hats.
it's not like I can say I'm any different. It's fine.
Fair.
All right. Uh,
Woolly
hmm.
workings.
I was like, you're in charge here. I
Yeah.
just give you all the things. We both haven't been doing a lot of knitting. I've been busy doing stuff. For anybody who doesn't know, I am currently writing a book, so I'm taking the opportunity to be away from home and my usual writing work to work on that. I did, however, finish a suspiciously same square shape as I did last week. Almost like I'm in a knit along, guys.
Almost like you have to knit two of the same piece.
Oh my god, here's the second one. It
Hey!
looks like the first one. Who knew? Uh, I am currently arguing with the sleeves for the Marley Bird and Red Heart yarns, my first sweater knit along. There's a lot of sideways stretch in mine, so we are going to trundle ourselves down to the Fabricland. I'm going to buy some grosgrain ribbon, and I'm just going to hand sew it in so that my collar doesn't stretch before I'm finished my sleeves, because I'll obviously have to make some adjustments for a longer sleeve. But that's okay. Week two, so sleeve two, starts on Wednesday, and then we'll have one more recording, and I should have my sleeves almost finished because the Wednesday after that, it's sewing it and putting it together.
Nice.
I know. Guys, I'm not even behind.
That's amazing.
I
You're gonna
treated
have
my
a whole
sleeves,
sweater.
but they're out in the living room, so I'm not getting up to go get them. I casted them on 50 million times to get the stripes to match. And finally, I wasn't going to do time. I wasn't going to do two at a time. I wasn't going to do two at a time. Doing them two at a time.
Uh huh.
I'm magic looping them because I have a 40-inch cord, so
Right.
I can do that. Yeah, and I prefer my sleeves tighter on my boxy sweaters, so I'm doing a tighter sleeve all the way up. Yeah.
Nice.
So I've made some modifications, but this is technically not my first sweater. I'm just enjoying Marley Bird's knit-alongs because so many helpful hints. She
Fair.
has amazing tutorial videos, and she walks you through a lot of stuff and really shows you really well what's going on. So if you're thinking about making a sweater or confused about a lot of it, Marley Bird's a great person to teach you.
Nice.
Hmm. Mine's, oh, I guess I didn't say what thread I'm doing it out of,
Oh
did
yeah,
I? If you are a new listener, this very sad, floppy, sad looking skein of yarn,
it's so
it
floopy.
looks, it's so floopy. This stuff doesn't stay balled up at all. It's a pain in the butt, but spent 2.5 hours pulling a knot out one day.
Oof.
Is the Loops and Threads Yarn Faucet Stones. It is a beautiful jewel toned variegated yarn. Mine happens to be in greens and goldy yellows, which will look really nice on me. And it's acrylic, so here's hoping Mom doesn't steal it. If she does, I'll just make myself another. So my life works, folks. Just wait till we get to acquisitions. I have 4 balls, 2 of each different color, because my mom wants something. I'm just going to make it again for myself afterwards.
It's probably
Figuring
the
it out, people.
safest.
Yep, yep.
Otherwise, you'll make it and it'll stay in Saskatoon, and you'll come home and go, "Where's my this?"
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Well, I've done a fair amount of knitting on one thing, which is to say, my arm has been feeling better,
Oh,
and
good.
but I've only been working on the one thing.
That's fine. You're a bit more of a monogamous knitter than I am.
Well, it is the thing with the largest needles that I have on the go right now, and I found that
Okay.
the larger needles have been helping.
Oh
And you
yeah,
can see
because
from my little
oh
progress keeper
my,
there, I made actually a pretty decent amount of progress,
that's a
given that,
decent amount of progress,
yeah, given everything and all the things.
which is
Uh,
delightful. For people who don't know, when we record via distance, Diana's system is set up so that I'm looking at everything at about a 25-degree angle compared to everybody else,
yeah, sorry about that.
which is hilarious.
We have
I
to
mean,
have
I
two
don't mind
different
at all.
camera sources, and they're as
I
close
don't. I
together
don't
as I
mind.
can make them. There we go.
It,
So I got my
it
little,
just I find it funny because everything's just a little off kilter for me.
I got a little, my little Argyle sheepy stitch marker
Oh, it is
there,
your sheep. Okay, that looks good.
and
What's this
astute.
project?
Oh, this is the not a lot of rain in April.
Oh, see, because I wasn't really paying attention. Oh yeah, no, you're totally in the lace section.
Yeah, I've finished my first lace section. I'm back in a garter section. Astute viewers may notice that my stitch markers are different this week, or different from the pictures that I've been posting on Instagram this week.
Uh-oh.
The dangly little plates were bothering me, so I switched them out for some simple little rings. Because the dangly things were just, they were too dangly. They were just bugging me. So I'm thoroughly enjoying this lace pattern. It is quite simple. I will say more things about it in a later section, but it is overall a very, very nice, simple knit from Cozy Up Knits. Or it's easy but without being boring. And I'm doing it out of Cedars and Spruce from Cloud9 Fiberworks in her,
Nice.
is it Nimbostratus worsted? I left the card in the other room. Her
I think
worsted
it's
weight
Nimbus
base,
Stratus.
which I
All of her. Yeah,
love
because
this
all of her
color so
bases
much.
have cloud names, don't they?
They do,
Yes.
it hence Cloud9.
Mm-hmm.
This particular one is like coppery browns up into oxidized coppery blue greens.
Nice.
So it looks really nice all knit together, and I'm really excited about that because a lot of my hand painted yarns have very stark color contrasts, and they end up looking kind of too much when they're all knit together. But this one's reasonably muted, and so it just looks so nice all knit up together. It looks like oxidized copper, I think, and so I'm really enjoying it.
Crazy lady.
Yeah, so that's the only thing I've been knitting this week.
Wow. What are you gonna do next week?
Probably some spinning actually. I did not
Blow
tackle
us out
any.
of the water.
Yeah, I didn't tackle any spinning this week because I wanted to chain ply. I have it sitting right here. I wanted to chain ply the rest of my singles, but having watched a pile of chain ply videos this week, I determined that it requires wrist movement that I thought would be a bad idea. So I'm gonna leave that and maybe do that later this week.
Well, that makes sense. I'm sorry I'm stalling because I realized I was in the middle of a row. Oopsie daisy.
Knit faster, knit faster. We want to see what you're working on.
Oh, you want to see what I'm working on? I'm working on a new design, you guys. What? It's going to be a top-down triangle, just two colors, because I literally threw two skeins of yarn in my bag and said, you'll turn into something. Because you will. I will either find a pattern I like or I will make one up. And I wanted to get this done before the Midnight Cravings girls have their grand opening on May 11th, just outside of the city here. Talked to Dad and Mom. We're already booked to go. Dad has it in his schedule. So we are good to go. And I'm using a skein of the French roast from Midnight Cravings. And I think it's confetti from Penny from Creek Garden Crafts, which is a Pima cotton. Mostly because the ball bands weren't attached to the yarn.
Oops.
Oops. And while I recognize the French roast quite easily, I'm not 100% sure on the confetti. I'm pretty sure it's the confetti, and that the one that's more heavily variegated is my hibiscus flowers one.
That
But
seems
I
like it makes
cannot
sense.
make any promises. So I'm excited. I don't have a lot of testers lined up, so if you guys want to test knit, fire off an email. I'm gonna say it slowly because Diana's gonna write it down because it's gonna be new.
Okay.
It's if you want to test knit for me, it's a two-weight fingering shawl or two skeins of fingering weight, one in a semi-solid and one in a speckle. And I want to email Amber Dragon Designs.
Amber, AMBERDRAGUN
You betcha.
designs
Yep, at Gmail.
at gmail.com. This will be linked in the show notes.
Absolutely. Well, when I set up the Ravelry store, I set up the designing platform under that name because Amber Dragon's really my social media thing everywhere. So I try to stick to that name when I can.
Makes sense.
So I finished a row. Guys, they're getting kind of long. So I'm still working in the French roast, but I've had to rip this out and start it 4 or 5 times
As
because
designing goes.
patterning and designing and stuff. It's technically a top-down triangle. You can see this little bop where it'll flatten out. Once the magic of knitting a top-down triangle happens and you bind it off and all of a sudden your shawl's flipped. I still don't know how that works. Have you noticed that in top-down triangles?
Don't think I've ever done a triangle from the other way.
I know there's bottom up. I don't do them very often, but I know there is bottom up. But these are the two colors I'm going to be using.
They look so fun.
So, obviously this one, which I'm pretty sure is Pima Cotton, I have not had a chance to put into the pattern yet. I worked it out. I did all the math. I gotta type up the pattern so that I can have it out for people, and I gotta finish blurring through this. But I had a buttload on my plate with the sweater this week, so thankfully we're past the big bulky part of the sweater knitting, and we're just on to smaller sections.
Nice.
So we'll see.
Wow.
We'll see how it goes. But that's it. That's all I've worked on this week.
It's probably the shortest woolly working section we've ever had.
I know people are like, but you're on vacation. Yeah, I'm out every other day. I'm doing stuff with my mom and my dad and my great aunt Jerry. Busy people.
Mm-hmm. Ah, okay, so fiber flub.
Mm-hmm.
So you know how I was saying this was a nice, easy... Oh gosh, what's going on here? Well... Oh, okay, I see. So you know how I was saying this is a nice, easy knit, and it's been, you know, it has not been easy for me to summarize. This is
Is it
not
accounting to two problem?
basically. I cannot for the life of me get an entire 8-row repeat of this lace section done without screwing it up somewhere and having to add stitches or subtract stitches, or I've missed a yarn over, so I have to add one in. I'm really good at doing that now. This
That's
is not a
astonishing.
difficult pattern. And
Because
I'm
like
having so much trouble with this lace. It's
I
not
watched
hard.
I watched TV while I was knitting on that lace.
I know. I think
That's
it's
why I recommended
because
it. I was like, it's silly, really easy.
I think what I should have done was I should have got it past the first lace section before I started trying to take it places. Because I've been trying
That's
to
fair.
figure out the lace pattern while I've been doing other things, and
That's
that
never a
has
good
not been
idea.
going well. So I think that's the source of all of my problems, but it looks really nice and you
Yes.
can't see my mistakes, so it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
That's delightful.
Me and that shawl, we've had words this week. I
Yeah.
think we've reached an understanding.
Are you sure?
We'll see. That's my fiber flub this week.
Major fiber club for the week? No, no. I had a couple knots in the balls of yarn, which were fun. We're gonna go with the word fun to detangle.
Mm-hmm.
But it's fine. We made it. Matching stripes, always fun, but it's fine. We made it. It works.
Good.
But I don't know. Just wait till I have to try to block a shawl with no blocking wires, mats, or pins.
Good luck.
Thank you. Me and Mom are talking. We think we've jerry-rigged something that'll work. It'll look ridiculous. If it works, I am taking a photo. It
Oh,
will
good.
go on the Instagrams.
I
It
do
will go on
love
the
good,
Instagrams.
ridiculous photos.
Because you gotta have good, ridiculous photos.
Oh, sorry. It's
It's
not
late
even
for
that
you.
late. It's not. It's just barely 9 o'clock. It's not even that late. Mr. Diana has been coming down with an illness, and today I've been coming down with said illness, and that has resulted in a very sleepy day full of many naps. And of course, then I went and drank scotch, and that's helping me stay awake.
You chose your beverage, not
I
me.
did, yeah. That's good. I'm like all cozy. I'm gonna curl up and watch Netflix after.
That's fair. I watched King Arthur and The Legend of the Sword. It's the King Arthur movie done by Guy Ritchie that everybody was like, why would you go see it? Because it's by Guy Ritchie. It's actually quite a good movie.
Hmm.
It's quite quirky. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Definitely not for the super serious, stick to core Arthurian legend people.
Ah, so that would be
It'll
why all the
drive you
people were
nuts.
going. Ugh.
It definitely played around with the mythos, but it's a
Eh,
story, so
yeah,
it's supposed to evolve and change. So I was fine with it. Graphics were good, the actors were cute, and the story was well told. That's all I care about.
fair enough.
When it comes to mythology, yeah,
So yarn on the go.
I am yarn on the go. You'd think it'd get old, but it doesn't.
You've been going anywhere else within your first level of going?
My first level of going.
Yeah,
Um,
have you been doing any second level going?
I did this past Saturday, the 27th of April, was a local yarn store day. Did you go to your local yarn store?
No.
I was in another province, guys. I had to go to another store, but it's okay because I
I'll
got to
tell
go
you
to
what I did do
Prairie.
on Saturday because I was busy. There was a legitimate
Oh
reason.
yeah. Oh no, no, you definitely had stuff to do. We Dad, Mom, and I went to Prairie Lily Knitting and Needlework, which is an amazing little local yarn store here in Saskatoon. It's not the only local yarn store, but we only made it to one because my dad is very busy, and he was only free in the afternoon to take us. And you know what happens when you get me in a yarn store? Oh well.
Mm-hmm.
I did film some footage, so it'll go into the vlog for the knitting stores and the stuff I'm doing here around in Saskatoon. But we went and we talked with a lady who's the owner. She is delightful. I love visiting her every year. She also keeps a stock of Chow Gu fixed knitting needles that she sells individually. Oh, I bought another one.
Excellent.
They're such good needles. I'm so happy. Well, that and I was in Winnipeg, so I couldn't go to Wolseley Wool. It's a bit of a trek for me right now,
A little bit.
being an 8 hour drive. But you know, maybe. Uh, so we've got plans to get to the other local yarn store that's strictly here in the city, which is the Wool Emporium, and to go to Minute Cravings Grand Opening. And my dad goes to Regina every other week, so I may go down to the Regina knitting store as well too.
Nice.
Guys, I got plans. Plans and things and stuffs and does. But my knitting on the go was mostly chatting and talking patterns and having mom touch different blends and stuff to see what worked for her and what doesn't.
Nice.
Bamboo linen is okay.
Oh, that sounds like a lovely blend.
It is quite a nice blend. And the linen will soften up around the bamboo. Oh, yeah.
That is going to be lovely.
So nice. It's not what I bought her. We bought some cotton acrylic because we liked that colorway best. So I think that's totally fair. But that's it for my yarn on the go. Because technically I'm not at home, so all of my yarn is yarn on the go right now.
did a lot of volunteering this week.
You did. You were heavy on the volunteering.
So on Wednesday, I was a mentor at the Canadian Cyber Defense Challenge, which is a
Okay.
capture the flag event for high school students.
I ate a lot
Basically,
of pretzels this week. Does that count?
sure. No, basically, it's just high school kids learning how to be security analysts. So that was fun.
hmm
That was where I was trying to knit on lace that I hadn't fully figured out yet, and I think I did about half a row, screwed it up somewhere, and put it away, and that's all I did that day, knitting wise.
Uh-huh.
I came home and I fell asleep at 7:30 that night. It was a long day.
Volunteering days are terribly long days. It's such good work and it's so needed, but yeah, they can be hard on the volunteers.
Yeah, I love doing it though. I've already signed myself up for doing more work for that group next year. Like even more work above and beyond what I did this year. On Friday, Mr. Diana was dressed up as the Shadow Trooper.
Shadow Trooper.
Okay, Shadow Trooper for the local 501st Legion. They were doing some stuff at a fundraising dinner. So basically, I was just there to help him in and out of his costume and like take pictures of people that wanted to take pictures with him and stuff like that. That was also fun. I got to sit backstage for a while and knit and try and figure out all of my mistakes, which I think I succeeded in doing.
Oh, and you said you saw the other Jocelyn?
Yes, I saw other Jocelyn and we talked spinning for a while. So, hi, other Jocelyn. I'll see you on Saturday.
Oh yes, because you guys get to go out to the Little Britain thing.
Yeah,
That's exciting. Yes, say hi to Jocelyn for me.
will do. And oh yes, on Saturday instead of local yarn store day, I was volunteering at another code thing. Canada Learning Code was doing a workshop for HTML and CSS for responsive web design, so I was a mentor at that.
Hi, you just make me look so lazy.
They clump up. Really, is the only thing. They just tend to clump my various
uh,
events.
and I'm like, oh man, all I did this week was go shopping and eat pretzels.
The CCDC happens once a year. The 501st stuff happens like once every couple of months. The Canada Learning Code stuff is like once every 3 months. It just all happened to line up on this one week. So you won't hear about any volunteering again for a very long time.
No, that's okay. You volunteer wherever you want. It's your time. You should spend it wisely. It just makes me feel like I should volunteer more.
Code, code, and more code. But yeah, don't try and knit on lace that you don't fully understand while carrying on conversations about code while you're trying to talk about numbers as well.
How about I don't
Ah,
volunteer for coding stuff because I don't know it?
yeah, probably don't do that. Probably
hmm
volunteer about other stuff, at other
hmm
stuff.
Totally can do.
Yeah, that was my week with the yarning and the going. There was so much
You did
going
a
and
lot
not
of
a
yarning going.
yeah. I didn't do much yarning at the places, but it went, and I tried. It didn't go well. Hence there was fiber flubs.
Well, you can work on it tomorrow while we have D&D. No, Tuesday while we have D&D.
Tuesday, yeah. Yep, I'm probably
Because
gonna
we
work
have
on it
to.
more after this as well, I mean, Game of Thrones airs tonight, so I gotta have something to knit on while I watch that.
Sure.
It's very important. I have to watch it tonight, otherwise I'll get spoilers.
You know you can block those things from popping in, right?
I can't block my coworkers' conversations in the kitchen in the morning.
Well, they should be respectful of people not having had a chance to watch it yet.
They are, but like you're coming around the corner and you just hear something, you're like, no! And like
Mm,
nobody's being mean, they didn't know you were there, and you just happened to be coming around the corner while they were saying this spoilery thing, and it's like So
yeah, my dad's like, "Do you want to watch?" I'm like, eh, I suppose we could. You can tell I'm not sold on the series.
yeah, it's I
It's
don't know,
big,
I
it's
like it.
epic, it's fantasy.
Yeah,
I
it's
like
all
the
of these
book
things.
better. I like the books better.
Fair enough, but there's
Yeah,
more show than books now.
I know, and that's fine.
Probably the books will never get finished. No, I didn't say that. Nobody lynch me. Don't at me.
I was like, man, the internet's gonna hate us now because you said that.
Sorry, I'm sorry. I
Jeez,
take it
lady.
back. I take it back.
Magical words you can't say on the internet, and that's
I'm
one of them.
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Blundering onwards. Wool
Uh,
gathering. You bought yarn.
I did buy some yarn,
I also got
and
yarn that I did not buy, but I received it.
ooh, do you want to talk about your yarn?
Sure.
Sure.
I participated in the Reddit Yarn Exchange, which happens every 2-ish years, whenever some kind soul decides to dedicate an astonishing amount of their time to make sure this thing goes off
Oh,
properly.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. So I participate whenever I can. I don't think I've been able to participate for like 3 years. But I did this time, so I sent off some yarn to somebody in Halifax, and I received from somebody in BC this gorgeous purpley pinky yarn. The colorway is berry vanilla.
It's
Uh,
very cute.
yeah. It is from the blue brick, and the base is escarpment DK. So
The blue brick's a really big name.
I'm really excited about my pretty yarn. It's so pretty. It's so pretty. So pretty yarn. Oops, I hit my microphone with the yarn. I was dancing.
Everybody enjoy the glimpse you have now. We'll see it in about 6 years when she's picked a project for it.
Uh huh.
Uh huh.
Uh huh. I know. I know this is how that goes. But I'm willing. It's pretty.
It's very nice yarn. It looks really good.
Yeah, that's my wool gathering.
That's your wool gathering?
Yep, I gathered it.
That's it. That's all. You gathered. You
I
gathered
gathered it.
it.
It's wool and I gathered it.
I got a bag's worth.
Okay, tell us about your bag o' yarn.
So, ad nauseum. If you're a new listener or viewer, you won't know this. If you've been with us for a while, this is a long and old story. Mom cannot have wool. She's quite allergic. It makes her skin itchy. We don't make mom wear wool. So Jocelyn knits in cotton and other blends, which I thoroughly enjoy. They've been quite delighted to find some really good ones. See, look, my Chow lace needles. Red ones. Red lace needles. More for my collection.
A little bit jealous. I need to get some of those.
Oh, they're so well. You could do interchangeables, hey?
I could.
Uh-huh.
I find I don't really use enough of the needles in an interchangeable set, really.
That's fair.
Yeah.
So while we were in and looking, and boy, we look everywhere. It's huge. It's twice the size of Woolsey Wool.
Hmm.
Like it's a big store.
That sounds
I found
glorious.
some Estelle Rainbow Confetti. So Estelle is the company name, and what it is it's a confetti cotton acrylic variegated yarn,
Ooh, that's fun. It's all greeny and whitey and speckly.
and it has that soft that you get with like the Red Heart soft yarns.
Ooh.
So that's this really nice soft cotton and a really nice soft acrylic. So I got two in the green for mom, and I got two in this red berry color
Ooh, that's fun.
for me. And there's a bazillion yardages in these guys. I say a bazillion like it's an accurate calculation. It's not, but without a Diana here, we might not get any more information out of it. It's color 01. Oh, thanks, band. That helps.
Excellent, excellent.
Oh yeah, no, it's in really small print. I won't be able to read it. But two of these, we got 800 yards per skein.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's definitely it's a 200-gram skein in each. So two of them, I'll hold up the two different colors. Obviously, I won't be putting the two different colors together. Are going to make a crocheted like Barolo shrug, like those nice big drapey ones you see everybody wear in the summer.
Oh yeah.
So it's called Indigo Shrug, and it's by, if I open up my phone here, Tatiana Kuprianovich. Kuprianikik? Oh man, dude, it's not English to start with. So I'm gonna do this. Can everybody see that?
Oh gosh.
That's the last name.
Tatiana Kuprianchik. I probably butchered that.
There's
We
no
will
way we
link
did that right.
this. We will
We
link
will
this in the
we
show
will link
notes
this. Yeah,
because we
the
have
Indigo
butchered that
Shrug.
pronunciation.
Oh yeah,
But Indigo
she
Shrug. That I could
Indigo
pronounce.
Shrug is that everybody can do. And it's a crochet pattern, but what it is here's the back of it. So it's got some beautiful lace detailing,
Oh,
and it's meant to be
pretty.
used with a variegated ball of yarn. So I have
Ah.
more yardage than I require, or more meterage than I require, so I can match up when I move from one skein to the next skein. The color transition can be completely seamless.
Nice.
So I'm like, yes. And it's €1 for the pattern. I it's fine. I'm just
Yeah.
going to buy the pattern.
Nice.
Yeah, for €1. Yeah, done. No problem. So I'm gonna start working on mom's first because I crochet quite quickly, and then I'll do mine. So if you only ever see the pink one,
Know that there's also a green one in
there
existence.
will have been a green one. And if I'm not stupidly sick of it by that point, and I tend to get sick of patterns after knitting them once or twice, I might make one for red. She
Ooh.
really liked the pattern. But I would have to make an exchange with her for something.
Mm.
I'll make her a couple of crocheted items for maybe having her make that wingspan shawl for me
Oh yeah.
because I don't want to knit it, but it's kind of pretty. Her kit's on the way, she told me the other day. Have you looked at this wingspan pattern?
I have not. I will link
Oh,
this one in the show notes.
everybody pause the video, go look up wingspan if you don't know what I'm talking about, or follow the link Diana will have put in the show notes because you guys, this pattern is stunning. It is stunning.
I will take your word
That
for it. I'll look it up after.
is a knitwear designer. He's literally made a shawl that looks like a pair of wings.
Nice.
Like feathers, the whole nine. Just, yes.
Oh, it's that one from the chat?
Yeah, it's the one I posted in the chat. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, that
yeah,
yeah, that is stunning. Okay.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, I
It's a
have
really
seen it
pretty
then.
pattern.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I am stoked she's doing that. For the record, it's not uncommon for me to exchange knitted projects for crocheted projects with girlfriends who knit more than I do when I crochet more than they do.
Seems reasonable.
Hmm. It works for us in our hobbies. I like to crochet a fair bit, so I got two skeins and all my crochet hooks behind me just waiting for me.
I guess the
So,
other thing we should. Oh, sorry, I cut you off.
no, it's fine. I'm good. I'm done.
I was
I
gonna
was just
say.
gonna babble.
The other thing we should mention in Wool Gathering is we have one more regular podcast coming up next week. And
Yep.
then for the 2 weeks following that, there will be a vlog from me and then a vlog from Jocelyn because we're taking 2 weeks off. So we're pre recording some vlogs and those will go up. So there will still be content on the YouTube channel. There will not be an audio release
No,
for 2 weeks
no. Yeah, for
in
two
May.
weeks the audio goes quiet, but I'll still be around on Instagram. We'll also not be doing the monthly meetup this month for Patreon users because Diana will be out of the country.
In fact,
So that's not going to happen this month for Patreon users, but we will get everything back up and running. Last week in May, I will be doing a podcast with a special guest because Diana will be recovering from the demon known as jet lag.
yeah.
Uh, and then first week in, is that the very last week in May? We're back to our regular schedule.
Oh, wait, I can pull up a calendar right here. It says that the special guest will be the last episode we release in May.
Okay, so then
So
first week in
June will
June.
be
Yeah.
back to our regularly scheduled programming.
Oh, so we're gonna have to have lots of progress on your guys' spring garment knit along items
Mm-hmm.
because that craft along wraps up on the 21st of June, which will be shortly thereafter.
Hmm.
Crazy.
Guess I should start that skirt.
Oh, jeez.
Well, maybe I'll actually do it this week because I'm not volunteering at a billion things, but I also can't knit a ton because I don't want to send my wrist backwards in its journey to repair.
Yeah, don't do that. Yeah, no. Get your skirt done.
Yeah, I
Get
have
your skirt allez.
distinctly fewer things to do this week. Maybe I can actually do that.
I have my shrug again, but I want to get the stay up with the sweater. So as soon as I'm done the sleeves and I have to abandon the sweater till I get the grosgrain ribbon, I'm gonna get that done and then I'll jump back in and finish my shrug again for my contribution to the spring garment cow or craft along. So I should have a finished object when either when me and Cherry meet up or the first week you're back. Theoretically, I'm done.
Nice.
I'm pumped. Obviously, the spring garment craft along is a knit along, sew along, crochet. It's a craft along We're co-hosting with Laura from Corner of Knit and Tea. She is definitely up showing us with progress on her work,
In
which I
that.
know she had to. She had to set her boxy aside because she's got some work knitting she had to get done, and one of them was a sample in Jocelyn size of the Comfort Fade Cardi, which is no small feat. So I've been watching her with that progress, and she is just flying through it. I'm like, oh man, I
Wow.
need to knit that fast.
Yeah.
I think I want to learn how to continental knit this year. So we're doing that, and that's a thing. So, but yeah, because that runs the 21st of June, so people still have some time for smaller garments, shawls,
Yep.
lace weight patterns, shrugs,
Also,
and
if you're
stuff.
gonna sew when you actually know how to sew, unlike me.
It'll take you a bit less time to put together a skirt or a new top or a dress. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, yeah. The only rules are adult garments. I think that's about the only rule we were like, yeah.
Yep.
Otherwise, we're pretty much open for anything. Bonus points, imaginary bonus points, if you actually use cotton linen or cotton blends, since it is springtime. We're in North America. It's springtime for us.
Yep.
It makes sense to me. Otherwise, that's it. I think we have literature next.
Yes, in fact.
Oh, look at me remembering things.
So I'm super exciting. I'm still reading Shadow and Claw by Gene Wolfe.
I don't know, man.
I'm almost done the first half of the book, which, when it was originally published, was a whole book. There's two books in the one book that I'm reading right now. So I'm almost finished Shadow of the Torturer. I'm just a few chapters away. In my defense, it's like size 8 font. This book is not a fast read. It is dense and you have to get into it. But when you're into it, you're like so into it. Suddenly hours go by. And I am still highly recommending and super enjoying this book. It is a sci fi book, but it reads like a fantasy because it's super duper duper far future, so that they know that science and technology is a thing, but they don't really understand how most of it works anymore, so it's effectively magic. Or like a lot of the knowledge of things has been lost, so it reads like a fantasy because the tech is basically magic at this point. Super super enjoying it.
So we've got 2 more months and you'll be done?
Yeah, about that. Well, no, I
Okay.
have to finish it and return it to the library before I go on my trip.
Oh my god. You've got a lot of reading to do in a week, dear.
It's a week and a couple of days.
Uh huh.
Uh huh.
That's not that long.
I know. I'm probably
Uh
not
huh.
gonna finish it before I go. I'm
Nope.
sad. I'm so
You can
sad.
always reloan it out from the library when you get back.
Yeah, but
Yep.
I want to finish it.
I don't blame you.
If I
It's
get no
definitely a very
knitting done
interesting
this week,
book.
it's because I'm finishing that book.
You probably should get some of your knitting done.
Psh, finish the book. Finish the book. Gotta
Uh
finish the
huh.
book.
I think you
Okay.
should do both.
Ideally, yes, but we'll see how
Ideally,
that
yeah.
goes.
All
What have
right.
you been reading?
I finished listening to Unmentionable, the Victorian Lady's Guide to Sex, Marriage, and Manners, and it is as delightful as it promised to be. The narration was very well done. The writing was very humorous. They had it all well balanced out with points of, the Victorian England that we've all been introduced with to books and movies is not real by any stretch of the imagination.
Mm-mm.
So they do a lot of sort of explaining what we do know, what we don't know, and did a lot of quote reading from uh, publications of the time, which are amazingly off point, but so funny to read and so funny to have read to you. So yeah, I thoroughly recommend it, whether you like Audible books or not. If you don't, then get it in a print version. But it's so good, so good. I was laughing and telling my mom anecdotes all week. She thinks I'm crazy. Uh, I've picked up and just started reading Kershaw's Chosen, which is the second in the Kershaw Dart series by Jacqueline Carey. It is a longtime favorite of mine. I pick it up and put it down all the time. It's a three trilogies that I will read and reread, and I have been doing so since I bought the first book in hardcover when it was first published. Years ago. I have no need to admit to my age right now.
I I will get to that book series eventually. I got halfway through the first book because I found it in the library one time, and then I
Hmm.
had to return it, and I never got any farther. But now I have the entire set. Like, I have like 6 books. There's like 2 trilogies. How does that work? There's 3 trilogies. Anyway, I have a ton of the books now because we found them at the book sale a couple years ago. So they're sitting there waiting for me. I will read that series eventually.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a good series. I think you'll really enjoy it. It's my cup of tea. It's high fantasy, strong female character, lots of plot and intrigue, and some adult fun time.
Perfect. It has everything.
Everything I want in a book. It's delightful. Once I got over the fact that the main male character's name is Jocelyn.
Yes.
I have to remind myself I technically have a boy's name depending on what part of the country and world I live in.
Interesting.
That's fine. I've learned to deal with it.
It's just names.
It's just a name. It's the one I've got. So no, that's it for me. Not a ton. Not while I'm on holidays. I tend to take a break and build up my TBR. We haven't
Mm-hmm.
been book shopping because I'm getting new glasses. So one thing at a time, folks. One thing at a time. New spectacles. Then we'll see what fonts I can read, and then I'll go to town.
Sounds like a good order to do things in.
Well, less backwardy anyway.
Which I think just leaves us with events.
It does just leave us with events.
All right, so
Oh
there's,
man.
I think we mentioned them mostly already, but this Saturday I will be at the Little Britain Fiber Festival. Little Britain, oh gosh, I don't remember the full name of the thing. It's at Little Britain Church in Lockport on Saturday, May 4th.
Mhm. Mhm.
I will be there with some members of Knit Club. Jocelyn will not be there because she's in Saskatoon.
Hey, it's Worldwide Free Comic Book Day. I might go down to 8th Avenue Comics and
Also, a good thing to do that day.
maybe pick up another next installment of the Rat Queens collection I've been reading.
Ooh, yes, I've heard good things about that one.
Really good. All the things.
What else is coming up? On June the 8th
Yes.
is. Oh gosh, what was that one called? It's on June the
It's
8th. It's
the
in Brandon.
It's the Blue Hills Fire Festival, which
Thank
will be
you.
located on the exhibition grounds during the summer fair in Brandon during June 8th and 9th this year. Diana and I will be out on the 8th. We have reached out to the ladies and gentlemen at the Blue Hills Fiber Festival to see if they would like us to be there sort of on the official matter. If there's any of you guys who listen or watch to us and you're in Brandon and you want to do sort of a meetup with us, let us know and we'll continue to make arrangements for everybody to see if we can do that all up. So I made a promise to Grandma if she's up for a visit, the Knit Club will stop in and say hi to Grandma because my grandparents live in Brandon. So I was born in Brandon, though I spent most of my childhood elsewhere. I did do my high school education in Brandon.
Yeah, we can definitely go visit.
I just stop in and say hi to Grandma. Invade Grandpa's house. There'll be more women than Grandpa.
Oh no, whatever will he do?
If you do, yeah.
He'll have to go outside and do manly things like, I don't know, work on the car.
I don't know. He'll probably offer us all tea.
Oh, that sounds like an excellent thing to do.
So there's that going on, and we can congratulate Grandpa because he'll be getting his celebratory dinner roast, I think, that day as well too, for his work on the Seniors for Seniors co-op buildings he's done.
Nice.
Yeah, so it'll be a very full June the 8th. But yeah, I mean, if there's any listeners or watchers that want to meet us in person, we'd love to meet you guys. Just let us know, and we'll make the plans. We'll make it work. No problem.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Diana? We live on coffee and a lack of sleep.
Far too frequently.
Coffee, lack of sleep, mini donuts, and yarn. Perfect combination in my
Oh.
mind. We're gonna be on the fairgrounds. We're getting lemonades and mini donuts.
Well, obviously. What else do you do on fairgrounds?
No, I have no idea. All I do is get mini donuts and lemonades, so I'm the wrong person to ask. uh,
Oh, sorry.
that's okay.
It's not that late. It's not even 9:30. I'm fading
I
fast.
believe you. I believe you. You are. You're turning into me. As far as knitting events go later in the year, for sure, we have the Manitoba Fiber Festival in September. End of September? End of September.
Middle end, somewhere in there. I don't know what
And
the dates are
somewhere in there.
yet. I'll link them when I have them.
I might go to Knit City.
Yep. I am not
I'm
going to Knit
gonna
City. My holidays
put
have all
out
gone to
some.
my honeymoon.
Well, that's I think a very good way to spend your vacation time this year is on your honeymoon, my dear. I'm gonna put feelers out and see if there's anybody out there that wants to like split a room or has somebody that is canceled last moment and see if I can get in that way. So that's super nebulous. I may not and may I don't know. We'll have to see. As far as other things that are going on, knit along wise, Stash Dash is going to start May the 24th and it's going to run until August 24th. It is a yearly knit along that the girls from the Knit Girls, Laura and Leslie, do. It is an amazing self challenge for yourself. I participate every year I can, and I will be gearing up for that the moment I get home, since I get home the weekend or the Friday of May long, which is like just before it starts. I'll literally be home for like 2 days, and then I'm recording with Red. It's not a lot of turnaround time, guys. So
Yeah, I think I get home the day before it starts. I'm going to be
uh huh
sleeping on the 24th. No.
well, you have 3 whole months,
Yeah, we'll
and
we'll
you
see.
tend to set small goals, so it's not like you're crazy like I am. So
Yeah.
it
It'll
should
be
be
good.
fine.
It'll be good. I got this.
Like,
I got this.
you got this. All right. So other than that, I don't think we have a ton on our plates. Don't forget July the 1st will be the cast on date for the Across the Prairies Cal. More details to come as those get finalized. Otherwise, I think that's it.
All right.
Oh, look at us being concise.
Never happens.
It's because I didn't say it at the beginning.
You didn't jinx us.
I didn't drink this. All right, so I'm gonna take a sip of tea because this is a really good peppermint tea.
Excellent.
Hmm.
I'm going to yawn again.
Now, if only I could find a good spearmint tea, we'd be good to go.
Oh
And
my
I will
gosh.
say, poor
Yeah,
Diana needs to go to bed.
apparently.
Until next week, I'm Jocelyn,
I'm Diana.
and no matter where your week takes you,
Don't
don't forget
forget
to
to
knit.
knit.
I have no idea how it sounded on your end. On mine,
It was,
way off.
it was all right. It was all right.
Okay.